We finally found you!
Ah, it's you two. I knew I sensed a familiar presence, but I'm very busy at the moment. We'll have to chat some other time.
That's right! Nabil asked us to come and check on the situation.
So Nabil told you about this? Divulging my location without authorization. I'll let it slide for now. I see. Well, the situation might be more problematic than you anticipated. I've already questioned several people. Long story short, I was able to learn of the secret location where the canned knowledge is being sold.
Whoa, sounds pretty complicated. But having a chance to catch bad guys with Cyno, it's like we're a part of the mantra. All right, sign us up!
Is this all you got?
What difference does it make? If you see something you like, buy it.
They've been cracking down on us lately, so we don't have much on hand. If you see something that catches your eye, then now's your chance. There's no telling when we'll have more.
What does the academia think they're doing? All right, I'll take these here. I don't see any real gems in this batch. It's all pretty ordinary stuff. Whatever, how much do I owe you?
150K. Show us the Mora, and you'll get the goods.
Put the Mora down and your hands up.
It hit Cyno! When's he ever gonna let up?
Hey, forget the goods! Let's split!
But don't forget the Mora!
Dun-dun! Not so fast! You can't escape with Paimon!
What is this? He's got backup now? Doesn't everyone say Cyno works alone? I don't like the looks of this. Either way, it's gonna be a tough fight. And
it's over. It's not like we're making a big cut anyway. I'm not losing my life here.
Huh? Did they really just give up like that?
Just like the others I've caught. They're not deep in the circle, just dealers. All right. I have one question and one question only.
The pickup location is different every time. The boss tells us where it's gonna be and that's it. We don't get a say in it. He sends someone every 5 days to bring us the goods.
And when is the next batch coming?
I don't know.
He's telling the truth. Honest. Normally, we should have received a shipment 3 days ago. The stock we have right now is from 8 days ago, which is why there isn't much left.
I know exactly why they didn't receive their last batch. 3 days ago is exactly when I started my... I suspect who's ever running this whole thing knew that I was coming. So they cut all contact with these dealers. When you were trying to escape, you said something about me working alone.
Are you kidding? We've known your name since day one in this business. The boss warned us to watch out and even gave us it, but here we are. I guess we never stood a chance.
They already knew all about me and were trying to avoid being detected from the very beginning. These small fries are the only ones they leave out in the open. And no matter how many we catch, it won't further our investigation. If only we had another lead. Like a merchant who sells large amounts of canned knowledge.
Huh? Oh, you mean someone like Dor...
Do you have a potential suspect?
Whoa! Jeff...
That's right. I won't turn a blind eye on any dangerous suspect.
Oh! Sounds like we shouldn't ever let Cyno...
I see. Anyway, I'll think of a way to deal with these two, and if you manage to learn anything, you can find me at Caravan Ribat. And as for you, I don't ever want to catch you buying canned knowledge again. If you possess any unused knowledge capsule...
Okay, I got it. Just keep your nose out of my business.
Hey! What's with the attitude, mister?
What, you got a problem with that too? Listen, buying canned knowledge is a deal between two people. The buyer, think about it. If the academia is hoarding something as convenient and useful like canned knowledge, then they must have been planning only to use it for themselves.
The academia has clearly published the potential dangers of canned knowledge. I don't like having to repeat things. And I just hope you understand that your actions are what fuels the smuggling of canned knowledge. If I ever catch you again... All right, Traveler. I need to go now.
Ha! You think you can scare me?
Traveler, why don't we go talk to Dori? She's got loads of connections. If Paimon remembers correctly, she's usually at the Palace of Alcaz...
Just following orders.
I see. So that's the latest scoop. Good thing you didn't rat me out. Otherwise, who knows where I'd have to be hiding to avoid attention. No idea. Sorry. I've already cashed out of the canned knowledge business.
Huh? You mean you stopped selling it?
That's right. With so much canned knowledge flooding the market, it was becoming impossible to fetch decent prices anymore. Besides, it seems that group of smugglers has practically taken over the market. It's a little rule of mine to never fight for a share of someone else's market. Plus, with regulations getting as tight as they are now, I figured I might as well just hang it up.
Sounds like we came all this way for...
Well, not completely. Granted, I don't know who's behind all the smuggling activity, but since you didn't sell me out, I'll let you. After all, those smugglers have really crossed the line, butting their way into the market like that. I hope their luck runs out soon so that I can take over.
Hey, you just want to make more business for yourself.
Don't underestimate its value. Think about it. You can gain all sorts of knowledge while bypassing the troublesome process of study. Of course, not everyone needs that kind of knowledge, but in a market as big as Sumeru, there is plenty of demand. Plus, the cost of production is relatively low, so even if dealers have to cover transportation costs, there's...
Then why does the academia prohibit selling canned knowledge?
Being able to gain complex knowledge and become a scholar with the snap of your finger. But everything in the world comes at a price, right? Gaining knowledge is a complicated process. It requires learning, thinking, and practice. But with canned knowledge, one may simply skip all the hassle and get whatever they need to know immediately. First, you'll accept the knowledge as factual without a second thought, and you'll find it very hard to forget. This means that if the knowledge is flawed, and second, excess use of knowledge capsules over an extended time diminishes your ability to think. You'll end up becoming like a library.
Oh, that does sound pretty dangerous. Traveler, you used canned knowledge before. Did you feel any negative effects?
Of course, using it sparingly is not an issue, which is exactly why I used to sell. It's just like how medicine can be used to cure diseases, but can also do harm when overused. Anyway, back to the point. There'll be consequences if the sale of canned knowledge by those smugglers is left unchecked. And what's worse, you're playing right into their hands by focusing only on the canned knowledge that's made its way into the market. As far as I know, their real purpose is to distribute information about the Court of Desolation.
The Court of Desolation? What's...
A rumor has it that it's a site of ruins from the age of King Deseret. It's said that with the treasures inside, one can see beyond life and death. But a word on the street is that there'll be an auction taking place in the desert. They're auctioning rare canned knowledge, some of which is related to the Court of Desolation. Once I heard about the auction, I began to suspect that all the canned knowledge popping up on the market is just a diversion. I'd wager that their real target is the Court of Desolation. Because studying those ruins is not just a simple matter. It requires knowledge spanning several fields. So, if they're aiming to quickly assemble... As for the auction, chances are they're trying to attract and scout out anyone with interest or expertise on the subject. On the other hand, no one can say for sure that they will ever succeed in finding the Court of Desolation. So...
Sounds to Paimon like we better head to the desert and see the auction.
That's right. And now that I've shared all that valuable info with you, it's time to introduce our limited edition desert travel kit. It comes complete with a map straight to the auction location. As I said, I also have to make preparations before I sell things, right? Now, let me consider... I've got it! 500,000 mora per kit! That's quite the bargain. We'll even offer a 50% discount for little Paimon's travel kit. Oh,
what? That's super
No need to worry, little one. Cyno's the one heading this investigation, isn't he? I'll be sure to bill all the All you'll need to do is tell him to go to the Merchants Guild and pay the bill once the mission is completed. Just, be sure to not send him directly here, though. Okay, I'm sure the General Mahamatra of the Academia would never leave any debt unpaid. And I can only imagine the funds he's allocated for investigation.
We'd better get going. If Dori keeps at it, we'll be out of mora. We got got news for you. What the smugglers are really after is a chance to research the Court of Desolation. They're hosting an auction in the desert to sell canned knowledge about those ruins.
The Court of Desolation. I won't ask how you came by this intel. But is it reliable?
We also heard that the Court of Desolation contains treasures from the time of King Deshret.
Partially. It was a secret place built by a dark sect from the age of King Deshret. The ruins do contain treasures, but the place is also rife with... According to past research, one must forfeit their life as the price of entering. They are not some ordinary however. If they are using the canned knowledge as a way to move information and recruit researchers, then I suppose your conclusion does hold some validity. Less in recent years, but there are always those who attempt to do so. Both inside and... After all, legends claim that whoever obtains the treasures inside can see beyond life and death. Or even... Death is often the greatest grievance for many people. Though they're fully aware that the chance of these rumors being true are slim. That's why some continue to research it, regardless of it being a restricted subject. On top of that, do you know where the auction is taking place? Good. We'll go investigate. But before that...
Huh? People tail...
That's right. Let's begin to leave town and see what happens. I'm sure... Don't worry. I'll make short work.
That's Cyno for ya. But we can lend a hand too, you know.
Hold it right there. Heading to the desert, are we? I would think twice if I were you.
Huh? Who are you?
That doesn't matter. All you need to know is that someone wishes to inform you that it's not too late to turn back. You must be Cyno. I've heard a lot about you. You've got quite a reputation. But this time you're in over your head. Unless you... And as for you two, why bother sticking your noses in trouble that doesn't even concern you? Hmm?
That's right! We won't just sit back and do nothing!
Ha! Have you really thought it through? You're not just doing this for recognition. My employer said that he's willing to compromise as long as you just walk away. He could, for example, reduce the amount of canned knowledge on the market. On top of that, he's willing to give you a cut of the profit. So you see, you get both Mora and a boost to your reputation.
Is that so? Well, I can't think of a reason why I'd accept.
Sorry, no can do. We're getting paid to ensure you disappear. Since you won't...
Happy to oblige.
That's close enough.
Disappear! Worthless! Here!
You are not welcome here.
Lucky today.
Oh, so sorry. Dodge this.
Evil conquering! Here! Here! Worthless! Worthless!
This doesn't change anything. You're in over your head, Cyno. There will be others coming for you. Let's get out of here!
No need. Even if we apprehend them, there'll be little. I apologize for bringing you into this dangerous mess. Just being associated with me will inevitably. You should be careful from now on. Sleep with one eye open.
Wait, hold on. There's no way anyone could sleep without closing their eyes.
You'd be surprised. Anyway, just be careful. Mercenaries are never quick to forget. They may even stay hidden in some dark corner for a very long time. Waiting. The prestige intact. Yes. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was carrying out a mission with one of my superiors. I didn't have much experience at the time. My superior was injured while protecting me, and we struggled to gain control of the situation.
Whoa! Who could have seen that coming? Was he okay?
He survived with a fractured wrist. It took 2 months for him to recover. But luckily, there weren't any further complications. His name is Taj Radkani, a very well-respected Matra. You'll have... Anyway, our mission will be dangerous. I'm already used to...
Don't worry, Paimon will stay alert. We'll see danger coming a mile away.
Good. Don't worry. It won't be long till we're at the bottom of this. And once this is all over, I'll sweep away any other hidden dangers.
Memories. So dark. Useless!
We still have a long way to go, so you'll need to hang in there for a while longer. This is not a good place to rest anyway.
Okay. But don't you feel hot?
Of course, but I'm accustomed to these conditions.
Care to share any tips?
Just try to stay focused. Use your willpower to support your mind. Take one step after another. Don't let your mind perceive your body's limitations.
Okay, if you say so. But where would be a more safe place to rest? Just look around, it's just sand and desert. There aren't any monsters for miles around.
Watch out. Something's not right about them.
Nice and spicy. Take this!
Disappear! Here! Worthless!
I really didn't expect to see those here.
Those weren't just normal scorpions. See? There are marked numbers on their pincers. Someone doesn't want us to show up at the auction. We are surrounded by desert as far as the eye can see.
This place is super dangerous. Good thing we didn't.
Something's not right. There are no roads in the desert, so how... Stay still. Here's the answer. They must have planted this on you.
Huh? What is it?
A miniature tracking device made by the Ksharawar. They can use this to discern your approximate... But this device wasn't licensed for mass production. Where did they get it?
Whoa! Paimon never knew that kind of thing even existed! What?
They probably planted it on the Traveler during our fight with the mercenaries earlier. It was a frantic fight. It's only natural you didn't notice the device.
Well, good thing you were able to find it, Cyno.
No. Hold. Let's keep heading to the auction. It would be dangerous to linger here any...
They're back again! How many of them are there? You're toast! Boba, get them! Now! Weird. Is this where the auction is? Yeah, not a single soul.
We didn't waste any time getting here after we defeated those mercenaries. They shouldn't, but even so, they still knew we were coming. Someone here must have been watching the tracker.
Aw, what should we do now?
We searched the area. They couldn't have moved all the knowledge capsules so quickly.
All right, let's take a good look around the area.
Did you find anything?
No, nothing in particular.
It's possible there weren't many knowledge capsules containing info about the Court of Desolation. But don't worry. I have another idea. You two come back and meet me here after some time has passed. I'm sure something will come up by then. They packed up in a hurry and didn't have time to carry off all their goods. They won't. Once they think we've left the premises, they'll be back to pick up their belongings. We just need to make sure the tracker goes far enough from here to...
Oh, Paimon gets it! We'll lure them out because they'll think we've left! Okay, we'll start heading away and leave this place to you.
Yes. And don't worry. If they do...
for a little while before we go back to find Cyno. It's probably about time for us to head back to the auction. Let's go. Maybe Cyno's finally found some leads.
A new punching bag.
Oh, looks like Cyno caught someone! So you're the bad guy behind all this, aren't ya?
I didn't act immediately when he showed up. He is not the primary instigator, but he is most likely one of the more important.
Yes, impressive. You certainly live up to your reputation, Cyno.
Huh? Greedy? What do you mean by that?
Once everyone knew you were coming, all the canned knowledge dealers abandoned their goods and fled at once. Obviously, there wasn't time to pack up everything. Since all the goods were just left here unsupervised, I thought I'd use the opportunity to come back and take what I could. You know, free merchandise is good business, but...
You must know who's manufacturing and selling the canned knowledge, correct?
No, I'll talk. But before that, perhaps we can take the conversation elsewhere? If we stay here, chances are that someone will see me with you. That would...
All right. Where do you suggest we go?
How about my home in Aaru village? It should be safe there.
Fine. Let's head out. You...
Listen, buddy, you better not try to trick us!
Come on now. Do you really think I'd try to pull anything under Cyno's watch? Seriously, what can I even do?
have guests? Hi there.
This is my daughter, Simin. She can be a little shy of strangers. Why don't you run along now, dear? Dad needs to talk with our guests.
Oh, okay.
Everyone knows Cyno in our business, but let me ask.
Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler!
To be honest, I really didn't expect to see Cyno, the lone operator, working with any partners. When I saw the tracker start moving away, but even though you caught me, I'd still urge you to stop while you still can.
Why is that?
Everything from the manufacturing of canned knowledge to the sales and even splitting the profits. Every step of the process involves everyone will try their best to defend this industry that we've worked to build. It will be a long and difficult fight. And even if you manage to win in the end, no one will thank you. If anything,
Everyone has their own reasons for what they do. I don't have...
Here's some tea, Dad. And for the guests, too.
Right. I forgot to offer tea to our guests.
Don't mention it. And, I should tell you that our tea tastes kind of bitter, but I put some sugar in to make it a little tastier.
That's my girl. Do we still have any sugar left? If not, I'll buy...
Yes, we do. Okay. I'm gonna go have a rest now.
Didn't you say that everyone's in it for the massive profits?
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. My daughter was born with a chronic disease, so she has a relatively weak heart and lungs. That's why she never really had any friends to play with, and why she locks herself up in her room most of the time. As for me, I was just an average merchant. I would wake up early and travel all around to make... Until one day, someone reached out and showed me a way.
Selling canned knowledge.
That's right. With all the mora I made, I could finally afford medical treatment for my daughter. There are many others like me. Smuggling canned knowledge might seem like an unforgivable crime to you. I wanted to tell you all this so that maybe you could understand and change your mind. Please, stay out of this, Cyno.
Oh no. That means that if we prevent the sale of canned knowledge...
I must get to the truth. I can find someone to help treat your child, but I cannot turn a blind eye to the smuggling.
I somehow knew you would say that. But having your word to help my daughter is enough for me. You'll find some goods I received just recently. I think everything will become clear to you once you see them.
Whoa! Look at all of this!
Yes, all neatly packed away and organized in boxes. Small producers couldn't possibly support such a large quantity of goods. Could the academia have a hand in this?
Huh? Look! These seem different from the other knowledge capsules we've seen. Maybe they contain knowledge about the...
Yes, that would make sense. Wait, what's this? Yes, it's a Matra seal, indicating that the goods have passed Matra inspection. I started to suspect that someone in the academia might be involved when I found the tracker earlier. But the pieces have now all fallen into place. With this Matra seal, goods can... No wonder they don't want me to investigate. It turns out that a Matra is behind this. Could I ask you for a favor, Traveler? Since all this canned knowledge came from the academia, then it's highly likely that the knowledge regarding the Court of Desolation... If we can enter the repository, we can find out who accessed these files. But, considering my current status, if I suddenly show up at the academia now, it will only draw unnecessary attention. You'll need to be the one who checks the records. I'll write a letter to Nabil, and he'll take you there.
Sure thing! Leave it to us!
I'll also keep working here in the meantime. Although our leads are all currently pointing to someone within the academia, we can get more information on other dealers from Bahari. I'll stay here and make some preparations.
Hello, we meet again. Have you managed to find Cyno? I read the letter, and must admit that I hadn't expected things to be so serious. Sorry. Had I known it would be so dangerous...
It's alright. We wanted to help Cyno too.
I can tell that he really trusts you. The research files stored away in the restricted repository are far from ordinary. Even I don't usually have authorization to enter. But with this letter from Cyno, It shouldn't be a problem. That's right. Granted, the academia is very supportive when it comes to research. They encourage scholars to conduct. However, some forms of research have proven to be so dangerous that the Matra have to step in and put a stop to them. But some information may be retained as a record to warn later researchers. Such information is kept in the restricted repository. Follow me. I'll show you. Hopefully, we'll find the answers that Cyno is looking for.
The restricted repository. So
Okay, I understand. Since Cyno is vouching for you, I suppose we can trust you. You may browse the information regarding the Court of Desolation, but I'd suggest avoiding any other research files. Sometimes the...
So this is the restricted repository. I never thought I'd see the inside of it. This is a first for both you and me.
There are many who do not openly converse with others within the academia. But even so, there are very few who I feel could be trusted with a real secret. Even though he's no longer in the academia, I still trust him. And that goes for anyone he trusts as well. The files are over there. Just make it quick.
whoa, there's a lot to read here. Have you found anything yet? Huh, it reminds Paimon of Cyno's former partner.
His former partner? That would be Taj Rodkani. But you're not far off.
What? Taj's son went to prison for researching the Court of Desolation.
Why do you sound so surprised? You're a Matra.
It's just that they arrested him in secret, so it was never publicly known. All I knew was that Taj's son was taken to prison.
No. Unfortunately, there isn't. He took his own life not long. You've heard about Taj, right? I know Nabil has. I would say he's probably pushing 50 this year, which makes him one of the most experienced Matra. He used to be Cyno's only partner. Taj is also skilled with the polearm, so the two of them used to practice together when they...
Ah, right. I heard Cyno mention that before. But one day, Taj suddenly decided to retire from active duty and transfer. I wonder if it had anything to do with the Mortada incident.
Taj was already very well known by the time Mortada was born. So when Mortada came to study at the academia, everyone had high expectations of him. Then he had an unpleasant dispute with his father, but they were eventually able to work things out. Not long after they had reconciled, Taj arrested his son and put him behind bars. Shortly after, Mortada slit his own throat with the pieces of a broken bowl. Since then, Taj has been periodically coming to the repository. He'll hold the files from his son's research with a remorseful look on his face. I guess that's why he chose to move to administrative work.
I had no idea that happened. That must be really...
That's awful. Paimon feels terrible.
Wait, don't tell me you're starting to suspect Taj now. Impossible. Taj would never do that. I mean, yes, but this is Taj we're talking about. He would never do anything against
But if you claim that the canned knowledge was originating from the academia, then Taj, because he was the only one who could have recently gone through research files about the Court of Desolation. There are so many files about those ruins that it would be difficult to restart any research, since the 7 original researchers were put behind bars. However, if the files were made into canned knowledge, they could be understood immediately. By doing so, one could restart the research outside the academia without anyone ever noticing.
But even so...
According to the legends, the treasures inside the Court of Desolation could allow someone to see beyond life and death. Though I don't really believe Taj would ever try to do something like that. I'm just telling you what I know. Do you have any questions? If not...
Paimon's kinda confused.
Oh, now that I think about it, Cyno suspected that the canned knowledge was coming from within the academia, right? There's no way so many boxes could ever get through without drawing any attention. Maybe we... Don't worry, Taj. I won't let your reputation be tarnished.
Alrighty then, let's go ask around.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia?
No, not that I'm aware of. Perhaps you could ask someone else?
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia?
Huh. Well, yes, but isn't that pretty... The academia consumes so many resources each day. Everything from cooking ingredients, raw materials...
Right, but we're looking for shipments with a Matra seal. Have you...
That I'm not too sure of. I normally wouldn't notice whether the goods have any seals or not.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh? Why do you ask?
I'm just checking to ensure nothing unusual has happened.
Well, I can't say it's unusual, but I did notice something. There's a Kashar researcher who's been making frequent shipments recently. Dozen of large boxes each time. When I asked him about it, he said they just contained a bunch of old worn-out machines. The Kashar used to often sell scrap machines to trap, but he's been making a lot of shipments lately. There weren't ever so many outdated machines before.
And you didn't find that suspicious? Why didn't you report it for inspection?
Well, the boxes were stamped with a Matra seal. Why should I bother? Of course, I did start to wonder about the seal once, thinking that maybe they forged it or... A man named Taj came here and told me that he'd already inspected the goods personally and ordered me to leave the researcher alone. I couldn't question his word, could I?
Impossible. There must be some sort of mistake. There's no way Taj would ever... No, I won't believe it. Taj is an honorable man. Someone must... Wait, I know another Matra who works with Taj. I can ask him to let us speak with Taj.
As I've already told you, I don't have any way to contact Taj. A few Eremites showed up looking for Taj yesterday, and he met with them in his office. I was standing outside of the door, and before I realized it, the door opened, and Taj left with the group of them. I noticed that, but Taj didn't come to work today, so I've also started to feel a little concerned about the whole thing.
A group of Eremites? Could Taj really be the one making...
No way. Taj is just like Cyno. They're considered heroes among the Matra. There's no way that he would... Fine. Looks like there's...
Hey, don't let it get to you just yet. We'll get to the bottom of this once and for all.
So, this is Taj's place.
Well, what should we do then?
No. Wait, the door's unlocked. Well, anyway, we're still not sure if he's the real culprit. Probably not a good idea to go in without permission. You're right. Even if we apply for a warrant now, we won't be able to do anything until tomorrow at the earliest. What's this?
It's a paper full of names written on it. Oh, and a map. Nabil.
Yes, this is definitely Taj's handwriting. These are the transactions between Taj and some other people. The whole operation involves more than 300 people, including dozens of celebrities. I have a feeling that Cyno might be unaware of what he's up against. There's no way anyone could face such a large organization. You're right, that's just who he is. As for the map, it appears to indicate the location of the Court of Desolation. If Taj really has turned on his honor and committed these terrible acts, then I don't want to suspect him, but I also don't know him very well. Maybe Cyno...
All right, we'll give these to Cyno and see. Let's go! Well, Cyno, what do you make of it?
Taj. It's been a while from what I remember. He is a straight-laced man. Although he would resort to extreme measures from time to time. He would never...
So do you think he's the one behind all this?
I'm still not sure. I cannot imagine how devastating the incident with Mortada was for him. Nor can I deny the possibility, whether it's out of love for his son or for other reasons. We have to see for ourselves to judge him. Or rather, the person, that's right. It's clear that he had a hand in this case, yet he made no report of it. That's also why I need to see him. I must ask his reasoning and judge him. My time is ticking. Let's go.
Shut it!
So this is the Court of Desolation. Are there really any treasures buried here? Oh, Paimon's kinda nervous. Could it be dangerous?
Don't worry. You'll be safe with me.
Worthless!
Look! These walls have definitely seen better days. Was there some sort of fight here? Let's keep going and see what we can find. It's not gonna start moving again, is it? Either way, we should be careful.
Nowhere to run!
Freeze! This moment will be frozen in time.
A passage! Hopefully that's our way in. That eye seems to be staring right at us. This place gives Paimon the creeps. You go first.
Evil conquering! Here! 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 Boring!
Ah, Cyno. It's been some time since I've seen you last. I trust you are doing well. Seeing that you've made it all the way here, you must be on the cusp of wrapping up your investigation, I presume. Even faster than I expected.
That's right. This case is nearly closed. But the most important answer still, was it all your doing? Smuggling the canned knowledge?
Yes, it was me.
Then explain why.
That's the difficult part. Let's just say I've changed. I've become a...
I find that hard to believe.
Oh, really? Way I see it, every person will end up like me sooner or later. When you're young, you press forward, unattached, living solely for the justice in your heart. I was the same. I never questioned my actions until Murtada died. I was completely dedicated to all that I did, but as I grew older, I found myself feeling
Murtada was sent to prison by my own hands. I set myself on this painful path. My son hated me till the day he died, and I failed him as a father. But now I have a chance to make it right. A chance to reunite with him. The Court of Desolation. Here lies the key to overcoming life and death.
So, did you already find what you needed here?
See this door behind me? Behind it lies the trick. I'm so close, Cyno. If only you hadn't arrived now.
Enough conjecture. What has happened is already part of the past. In the end, the treasures you seek are nothing but myths.
Since you're so sure, why don't you just let me open the door and see?
No. I sense danger behind that door.
I beg you, as an old partner, can you let me fulfill my last wish? Just... Surely you get it by now. Doing your job without mercy will only drive people away from you. I'm the prime example.
I don't overthink things. If there is only one way for me to defend my principles...
Seems there's no convincing you. All right then. Let's see if your polearm skills have improved at all. This power is mine! I will set things right no matter what.
Through me, justice is served. You stand condemned. Your penance is...
Bellowing thunder!
Lament! Worthless! Here!
Your strength.
You feel it, don't you? I'm stronger than you remember. I gained... This is only a taste of it. Once I open the door behind me, this...
Uh-oh. We have to stop this guy!
I won't let you open that door.
I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid it won't be easy to stop me now that you're injured. Or
I'll do what I have to.
I still remember when we first became partners. Even after all this time, you still haven't changed.
You haven't changed either. You left that list of names and map in your house on... All of this was just part of the act you were putting on. I had my suspicions from the beginning, but I couldn't be sure until we fought. If he really had...
Huh? What do you mean, Cyno?
He never planned on opening the door. What's
happening?
Seems our time is running short. Let me make this quick then. After Murtada died, my spirit was crushed. For a long time, I was hoping this reality was just some terrible... That is when I was approached by someone who wished to collaborate and find the Court of Desolation together. People from every walk of life are involved. They are relentless in their search, pouring countless mora into secret research, even sacrificing lives, in hopes that the Court of Desolation would...
No wonder banning the research wasn't enough. A full-scale operation was already in motion.
I'm a flesh and blood human like anyone else, so I obviously hesitated and considered it. I suddenly came to a realization amidst my suffering. The Court of Desolation, a place that once drove people to tragedy, was still doing so. Even as long as this place exists, people will recklessly seek it out, just as Murtada did, generation after generation, regardless of the cost. Let it be buried beneath the sand forever. Once the Court of Desolation is gone, there will no longer be anyone obsessed with seeking it out. That's right. I acted as if I had abandoned my convictions just so that they would cooperate without raising any suspicion. But that wasn't enough. I needed someone I could trust to bring the organization to justice. The academia forbids the research of the Court of Desolation, so to add to the problem, the organization is so powerful that they even have members working within the academia.
So, you pretended to be the one behind all this, as a test for me.
Yes. I'm sorry, but now I am assured. You haven't changed at all. You are still as you always were, fear. Anyway, this place is collapsing. You must leave now.
Wait! Aren't you leaving too? There are still loads of bad guys to catch outside!
His fate is already sealed. There is no life left inside him. He is like a can. You planned it all from the very beginning, didn't you? Risking being treated as a traitor to collaborate with them. Sacrificing your own life to open and destroy the Court of Desolation.
Regardless, I made a grave mistake by allowing the smuggling and the research of this place. I was always so busy with work that I never made time to fulfill Mortada's wishes. Finding this place was his biggest wish. Since I'll be reuniting with him here, I can only hope he won't have anything more to hold against me. I'll leave all those people on the list to you. Sorry for all the trouble I've...
There's nothing to be sorry for. We are partnered. If you see Mortada, send him my greetings.
Dad, why are they so strict with me? I'm always the only one who gets in trouble.
Just leave me alone! Don't worry, I won't damage your precious reputation.
Alright, Dad. Let's start over. By the way, I finally found an area of research I wish to pursue. Why can't you show even a little leniency? Why?
Because we are Matra.
Huh? The Court of Desolation has...
Just as Taj said, that place had caused too many disasters and being buried in quicksand is its rightful end. To them, as long as there's more to be made, they will disregard the Academia's rules. Their only goal is to make massive profits off of dangerous research. Taj may have set them back with the Court of Desolation. That's an opportunity that I will not let them have.
We'll help too.
Thank you, but you've already done enough. Just leave the rest to me. I will bring them to justice myself. So, that's what I'm going to do. Wait for me a caravan rebop for days.
we meet again. Thank you so much for all your help.
Nabil, what are you doing here?
Convicts from the desert are being escorted through Caravan Ribat, so I'm here to keep an eye on things. This should be the last group of them, so I'll be heading back to the Academia once they're... The last few days have been quite the ride, but fortunately, I can say with confidence that this case is... At first, the mercenary groups on the list were putting up quite a fight. They made several desperate attempts to cover up the truth. However, Cyno crossed the desert. After that, people on the list started to put pressure on the higher-ups within the Academia. Everyone was on edge, and the case came to a standstill.
And? Then what happened?
Well, then we received word that Taj Rudkani had sacrificed himself on the case. The news really stirred up the members. The Matra then moved together against the enemy. We cleared out the traitors from within the Academia and arrested all the researchers on the list. Some of them managed to get out of the Academia, but still failed to escape. The scattered criminals were captured by Cyno all across Sumeru. I even heard that someone was about to escape to Fontaine, but was still apprehended just at the border. Having more than 300 prisoners apprehended for interrogation.
Is Cyno alright? He didn't get injured, did he?
He seems fine, but nobody knows the real situation. He brought over 300 suspects to judgment all on his own. Among them were even some of our former colleagues. Not just the criminals are afraid of him, but even if we start feeling all self-conscious, thinking if we've done anything wrong. By the way, are you guys here to see Cyno? I think I just saw him walking in that direction when I was on watch nearby. He was walking with someone I didn't recognize, and then before I knew it, they were nowhere to be seen.
Sure thing, Nabil. You be careful too. Don't let any of those bad guys...
Don't worry about me. If anything happens, you can find me at the Academia anytime. Farewell then.
Trying to single-handedly bring 300 people to justice must feel pretty exhilarating.
I'm aware. However, I learned something unexpected during interrogation. Apparently, Murtada had lived in his father's shadow all his life. Naturally, he wanted to conduct research that would seem groundbreaking and significant. After Murtada died, the organization tried to use Taj's shame regarding his son, toying with others' minds, treating lives like dirt.
Fine, I understand. This is a type of trap I've been working on which uses plants. Here, take some just in case. If thrown into the mud, the trap will grow rapidly and disperse a pollen that has a paralyzing effect. I don't have much use for the traps these days, but maybe...
Cyno! Tighnari! Oh, so Tighnari must be who Nabil saw earlier. Are you also here to see Cyno?
That's right. Cyno asked me to collect some medicinal herbs to treat a girl named Simin. I also dropped by just to check for any injuries. He seems to be fine physically, but he looks a little more lonely than I remember. And Cyno, relax. You don't always have to look so serious, you know? Why don't you play more Genius Invocation TCG? Kale has always been a little wary of...
How is Kale these days?
She's grown a bit taller, but her grades could use some improvement. She still made many mistakes on her last test, even after I had marked all the important content in the book. After some time, I plan on having her go outside more. It just so happens that I have something she can help me with.
Huh? You mean Kale is leaving a video forest? What happened?
I've asked her to host some ad hoc lectures to teach the dangers of canned knowledge, as well as how to use it safely. Although we've apprehended all the criminals behind the recent smuggling case, there are many people who are still curious, and so I decided to ask her to work on increasing knowledge and awareness on the topic. Please be sure...
I will.
If anything else happens, the three of you can find me in the Avidya forest.
I've already caught those who were preparing to attack you in secret. Even if some criminals did slip through our fingers, they wouldn't know that you were involved in the case.
But what about you, Cyno?
It's still not time for me to rest yet. Those who died have fulfilled their wishes. I've been thinking about what Taj said in the Court of Desolation these last few days. His words were not empty. I just hope my own change will come slowly, so that I can press on a little further that way. Those who see me as their superior, and those who are following in my footsteps, just as I gained courage from my own superiors, and my partner. I'll be fine. I'm also enjoying my chat with you right now, you know. There are many things I feel better about once I start to talk about them. Many people want to go to the desert to offer condolences for Taj. But one day, I'll gather some flowers that grow in arid desert conditions. And then, I was hoping you'd join me.